Welcome back everyone to another video. So, PS5 beta, software beta, rolls out today with new accessibility and audio options, social features and UI enhancements, and we're just going to go run through what is available. So, if you're invited to this beta, you can test out these new PS5 features. So with each PS5 system software release, Sony has introduced new features designed to enhance the many ways you can access your favourite content, navigate your console, or create new gaming memories with friends. And today, they're thrilled to roll out a new PS5 system software beta that introduces new accessibility features as well as audio options that allow 3D audio powered by Tempest 3D audio tech to be enjoyed on compatible Dolby Atmos-enabled HDMI devices such as soundbars, TVs, or home theater systems. The beta also includes more options to quickly find games and console tips, new ways to connect with other players and customize your multiplayer sessions, and support for larger capacity M.2 SSDs up to 8 TB, which is great, as we know a lot of games need a lot of memory nowadays. While this beta access will be limited to invited participants in select countries, they plan to release this update globally later this year. And if you are selected to participate in this beta, you will receive an email invitation today when it's available to download. So, without further ado, let's get into some of the highlights of this beta. So let's start off with the accessibility features. Use a second controller for assistance. So you can now assign a second controller to one account as an controller, and use two controllers to operate your PS5 console as if you were using a single controller. This feature introduces a new way for you to enjoy games collaboratively with others, or help a friend or child navigate a particularly challenging section of a game. To use an assist controller, go to Settings, Accessibility, Controllers, use second controller for assistance, and then turn on use assist controller. You can use an assist controller when your main controller is a DualSense or DualSense Edge wireless controller, or a PS5 supported third party controller. System UI Haptic Feedback. You can now have the option to turn on haptic feedback effects while navigating your PS5 with your DualSense controller, DualSense Edge controller, or PSVR 2 Sense controllers. When enabled, system sound effects of certain events will also be reflected physically through haptics such as moving focus, reaching the end limit of a scrolling section, checking a box, or when you receive a notification or boot up a game. This optional feature enhances immersion and is particularly useful for players with some level of sight or hearing disability who appreciate the additional feedback on their inputs. Now, to turn this feature on, go to Settings, Accessibility, Controllers, and then turn on haptic feedback during console navigation. Now, support for compatible Dolby Atmos enabled audio devices. So 3D audio powered by Tempest 3D audio tech can now be enjoyed by those who own compatible Dolby Atmos enabled HDMI devices such as soundbar TVs or home theater systems. Tempest 3D audio tech specifically renders to the Dolby Atmos audio devices in use, including overhead channels, allowing for even greater level of immersion in the audioscapes of PS5 games. Now, to turn this on, go to Settings, Sound, Audio Output, Audio Format, Priority, and then select Dolby Atmos. Now, some of the social feature enhancements. So, party UI updates. You can now invite a player into a closed party without automatically adding the player into the group or creating a new group. Additionally, players can send open or closed party invitations to groups instead of only individual players. Share screen preview. So when someone's sharing their screen in a party that you can join, you now see a preview image of their share screen even before you enter the party. Join friends' game sessions easily. So you can now easily see which of your friends are in an activity you can join under the Friends tab. The joinable icon will be displayed next to friends who are playing a game that you can join. You can join a friend's game directly by pressing the options button and selecting join game, or by selecting the join button on their profile card. Game Hub tournament tiles. So in the Game Hub you can now see how many tournaments you've entered and the highest place you've achieved, as well as the start time for the next tournament. You can select the tile to see the full tournament list. React to messages with emojis. So you can now add reactions to messages with emojis, which makes communicating with friends quicker and easier. Now, some of the ease of use features. Search for games in your library. So you can now search for games within your game library. Game help improvements. Game help cards have been improved. So in addition to the in progress activities, you can now see available, previously available, upcoming and completed activities. When a card is selected, its details are now displayed on the right side of the card, making it easier to find objectives and their corresponding hints. Discover new features. So you can browse useful tips for getting the most out of your PS5 and learn about new features in the Discover Tips section. So go to Settings, Guides and Tips, Health and Safety, and Other Information, Guide and Tips, and then select Discover Tips to view all the tips. Mute PS5 beep sound. So you can now mute or adjust the volume of the PS5's beep sound when turning it on or off, or putting it in rest mode. And to do that, just go to Settings, System, Beep sound, and to adjust the beep sound volume, select volume. To mute the beep sound, turn on mute beep sound. I know a lot of people probably like that one. A lot of people like this one as well. Support for larger capacity M2 SSDs. So you can now use an M2 SSD with a maximum capacity of 8 terabytes, which previously was 4 terabyte, to expand space on your PS5 console. But remember, M2 SSDs must meet the requirements outlined on the Sony page, so before you go and buy an SSD for your PS5, you need to make sure you've got one that will work. But anyway, that's a rundown of the system software update for the PS5. The beta rolls out today. But anyway, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next one.